Hello, what's up? Si Miki Ja and welcome to my vlog. Previously, I talked about this particular K-drama that I was so invested in, and it's Daily Dose of Sunshine, where it tackles in each episode the different mental health problems and how patients deal with it and how people surrounding these patients are affected. I'm not yet done talking about it, but now I'm not talking about the drama itself, but the insights that I learned and the reality na ginapresent kang K-drama nga Daily Dose of Sunshine. And I already told sa video nga to how I empathize and how I can relate, especially sa mga patients, me being someone who experienced this mental health condition. What is real about the trauma is that mental disorders are real and something that we have to deal with. Learn ko in reality is that this major thesis statement is that if we have mental health conditions, aside from the doctors, the psychiatrists themselves, wala ti tao na nga makabuli. Now, I'll be talking about my own journey healing sa akin na condition. And let me just tell you that these conditions, like my bipolar disorder, specifically bipolar 2 disorder and depression, these are curable, although it lingers from time to time. If we know how to manage it, we can overcome it. Since I have by consultation with a therapist, with a psychiatrist, so I know kung ano ang akin nga enemy, and I can name that enemy, and somehow I can face that enemy. Tilad nabiskan, I have these conditions, I can still manage to live normally. And humble natin, mental health is something nung hindi natin pwede take with a grain of salt. Pwede natin ma-set aside and to think that we're okay despite not being okay. Aking journey, I don't want to delve on how I acquire my conditions, but based on the sessions that I had with my therapist, it happened a long time ago. Amuragani, we when we have consultations with a psychiatrist, they try to trace back, no, hindi lang siya sa present. No, in order to answer the whys of the present, you need to go back to the past. And often it happened way back, no, during my college, and all the factors and all the experiences that I had no nag-pile up, no na-suppress. Although may region ako and I really wasn't aware of it na I depression galeria or bipolar galeria. Only then when I had my therapy session, and it's not easy. Sometimes when we have these conditions, these symptoms, we really think that it's normal. Na it's normal na sad ikaw or depressed ikaw. No, it's normal na nag-crave ikaw. It's normal na you think you can do everything. It's normal na may mga sessions ikaw and other things that you normally do. Na abi mo, okay lang. But then again, in the end, no, once the hindi mo siya ma-control, no, then it happens. These conditions occur. When I had the latest episodes right before or prior to my consultation with a therapist, the main trigger was actually work, school, and being a teacher is not easy. Of course, you have to deal with the students, you have to deal with your co-teachers, you have to deal with other factors outside school. I'm okay. I thought I was okay, but then again, during those times when it just happened, something that you don't really understand why it's happening. The last time that I did, right before I told myself I cannot, I cannot do it anymore, was I was absent, because I really wanted to go somewhere alone, and I went somewhere there. I just don't want to name the place. And I wanted to have peace. I want to relax. But then again, when you face the reality when you get home, it's still the same. You feel heavy, you feel lonely. You don't understand yourself where this is coming from, where these things, these causes of loneliness, these causes of heavy, this baggage, this heavy baggage, emotional baggage come. And so I thought of calling I have a writing fellow during our workshop, and a member of our writing group who's a psychiatrist. I called him, I consulted whether I am qualified to seek a psychiatrist because of what I am feeling. Said, of course, I told him what I've been through and what I am feeling, what I was feeling that time. So he said that it's better to seek help, seek professional help. And so I did. I gathered my resolve. Although during my college years, I really wanted to seek help. But then again, I was afraid of that stigma that once you seek a psychiatrist, you are crazy. That's the stigma of seeking professional help that time. And I did. Now that I am mature enough to understand myself. And so I went to Iloilo. So my friend referred me to a psychiatrist, and I really didn't know what to expect during the therapy. I remember looking for the clinic, and I just let my mind, I just focused on whatever things I really didn't expect, but I just went there just to seek answers of what I've been through during that time. When I went there, I still remember the room. I still remember the place, and the doctor just let me sit and began asking me questions. She asked me what is going on and what's happened and why I was there. And so told I told her that there is a sort of associating, of zoning out, that's happening to me, and I just want to get away from all the things that are happening. They were happening during that time, and we had trip down memory lane of all the things that happened, all the questions. It was like exposing myself, these questions that she asked. It was like exposing myself, not just the present, but all the things that happened to me during my childhood and during a present, especially with how I deal with people around me, and how I think people would say about me, and most importantly, how I feel about people thinking about me, and how I think about myself, and how I feel about myself. And that's after like an hour of question and answer, she finally told me that I have depression. And it's not that I didn't expect that I have depression, but then again, I just conditioned myself that something is going on within me. And right after she told me that I have depression, she again kept on asking me about my feelings, my emotions, my thoughts. And little did I know that she was asking about symptoms of other mental health conditions, which is bipolar disorder. When I discovered that I have bipolar disorder, and the symptoms that went with it, I burst into tears. I really cried because I have been doing that for a long time, and I didn't know that it was worse. That it might lead me to something worse. I might hurt myself. Although, of course, during that time, not only during the time prior to my consultation with the therapist years ago, I have the tendency to really hurt myself, and I really didn't know that it's getting there. One way of a manifestation of that condition. I really burst into tears because I suddenly realized that there's something wrong with me. Not in a bad way, but it's like a cry because I realized that I finally got relief with all the burdens that I have. Because now I know what I am dealing with. As the doctor said, we have identified the enemy, and so I did. It's like a cry of relief that I finally knew the answer to everything that I was feeling during that time. And she prescribed me a medication and antidepressant. But then again, although it helped for a while, but the effects of that medication, something that I really didn't want to do it again. There are people who's becoming dependent on antidepressants, but me, probably I was teaching during that time, and I cannot take the side effects of it because I felt like a zombie. And at the middle of the class, I would ask permission from my students to let me rest, to sleep, because I was so drowsy, I was so sleepy, and I really needed to sleep. It's all about managing emotions. When I say, and when the therapist said about my bipolar and depression, it's manic depressive. There are episodes that I am depressed, and there are episodes that I am manic. It's like both ends of the pole, the manic and the depressive part. There has to be a balance. We agreed on that. That whenever I think of things, whenever I experience things that threaten my condition, we agreed. We feel that there is something. There must be a balance of these emotions. I can't be too happy and I can't be too sad. So whenever I feel sad, so I must go back to the mid line of these poles. And whenever I'm too happy, it's a matter of questioning myself. How do I feel today? How do I feel today? And how do I react to things? There are there must be questions that I really need to answer before doing actions, so as to stabilize my emotions. That's what I've been doing during that time, aside from taking medication, especially with my hypomania. There are times that I was really active. My thoughts race against my body, and I've been struggling with that for a very long time. Right after the therapy, I've been doing sessions with my psychiatrist for how many weeks or months, I think. That's my journey.